Hello, my name is James Hassan, and as part of our presentation on increasing the cancer screening rate and immunization across the cities of Albury and Wodonga, I'll be focusing on the strategies for change management for the initiative to ensure that it is a success. Now, as part of the change management, we'll be implementing a series of robust strategies, which include the use of a change management plan, focusing on stakeholder management, leadership engagement, and workforce alignment to ensure that the implementation of the initiative is a success. Now, we all know that change is an inevitable part of many endeavors, health initiatives inclusive. The way change is managed will determine whether a venture succeeds or not. And given the complex nature of health issues, it is of utmost importance that organizations and persons saddled with the responsibility of driving initiatives as these are prepared to respond to changes needed so as to ensure that desirable results are achieved. In the given scenario involving the concerted effort by the community groups across the two cities of Albury and Wodonga, the effective management of change will contribute to the success of the initiative, whilst minimizing the risk of its failure, among other benefits. To manage the change, we'll be implementing a series of strategies, as I said earlier on, which focuses on stakeholder management, leadership engagement, and workforce alignment. Now, the change management plan is needful because this initiative is somewhat novel as it cuts across two different geographical and political lines and requires the collaboration from both sides in order for the initiatives to succeed. The use of a change management plan will be put in place as it will facilitate the effective management of the change processes in the implementation of the two initiatives. Furthermore, the change management plan will demonstrate to identify key stakeholders to know why the implementation of the two screening initiatives is important to both communities to garner commitment and support for the initiatives. In addition, the change management plan will define the scope of the scope of the initiative's impact so that concerned stakeholders are aware of who the change will affect and who the change with respect to the initiative will impact on, and how the change will impact on policies, processes, job roles, and organizational structures of the government and other agencies to be involved in its implementation. The change management plan, management plan will further outline the benefits to be realized by the implementation of the screening initiatives so that all that are concerned are able to see clearly the advantages of going about the implementation. Now, with respect to stakeholder engagement, stakeholders identified for the initiative across the two cities include Albury Wodonga Health, Wodonga Based Community Group, Albury City Council, the City of Wodonga, Victoria Government Department of Health, and the residents of both cities. Now, using meetings and expert judgment as our tools or means of engagement will be ensuring by this means that we keep all the stakeholders abreast with the issues and matters that arise in the course of the implementation of the initiatives. And through the duration of the initiative, we'll be using open and consultative communication to ensure that every stakeholder has a say in implementing the initiative. As part of our leadership engagement, leaders, as we all know, are change agents and considering their capacity to influence their followers both in formal and informal settings. The leadership of organizations and communities involved in steering the initiative will be engaged extensively to bring about the success of the screening initiative. This will be achieved by the leaders positioning themselves as role models. Given that change is often disconcerting for people, the leaders of the health organizations should help their staff by their example through the modeling of desired action and behavior which will promote the screening initiative. By doing so, it will promote the buy-in of the initiative, thereby contributing to its successful implementation. As decision makers, leaders are among other functions saddled with the responsibility of controlling resources, which include but not limited to people, budget, and equipment. Their decision-making authority on how these are used will affect the success of the initiative, and so the leadership will choose the options that will promote the attainment of the goals of the initiative in their capacity as communication channels. Beyond acting as role models and decision makers, leaders, as we know, stand as the voice of change. The leaders of the initiative will be responsible for keeping both their organizations and concerned stakeholders updated on the progress of the initiative. This communication will be done in the most appropriate way as it concerns each of the stakeholders. Another strategy we intend to use is to ensure that the workforce is aligned, the workforce responsible for implementing the two initiatives, such that it is a success. And this is such that we try as much as possible to see that resistance to change is minimized and the initiative receives enough support and the workforce behind it has a team spirit in meeting the visions and the goals of the initiative. And so the success of the screening initiative is greatly dependent on the measure of commitment of the health workforce. And given the tendency of resistance to change, which can be expressed in several forms, such as verbal disagreements during meetings, conflicts, and workers withdrawing from their teams or requests to be transferred to other teams, we will try to get this averted by ensuring that the workforce responsible for implementing the initiative are given all the needed support in adjusting to the demands of the initiative. And those who show resistance to change are not marginalized, but dealt with empathy whilst communicating the aims and objectives of the initiative clearly so they can easily buy into goals. Furthermore, given the additional efforts required in meeting the goals of the initiative, work will be allocated fairly to the workforce so that no one feels overburdened in adjusting to their work responsibility regarding the implementation of the initiative. With these strategies fully implemented, we trust that we, at the end of the day, will be able to realize the goals of the two different cities coming together in implementing the cancer screening and seeing an increase in the rate at which immunization is being implemented across both cities. Thank you for listening.